Prosmoke barbecue in the UK here. Just trying to troubleshoot this hopper door open error message on the XT. We've isolated it to this switch at the back here. As you can see, when we make contact, this switch seems completely dead. Now it was working, then it was intermittent, then it needed absolute contact, and now it's completely gone. What you'll find is Masterbuilt they run all the switches from this side off this control panel, and this is really not easy to get to. So the top hopper switch runs from here, goes through this hole here. It's then pinched up against this casing all the way along here, all the way along here to here. And there is barely enough slack, and I mean barely enough slack, to pull the connector through this little hole here that they've done. You can't take the mesh off of the XT either, because you've got some screw points for the mesh which you just cannot get to unless you take the body of the XT off, which obviously is completely ridiculous. So they definitely need to give us a little bit more slack, but with these sorts of tools, these hooks, we've managed to pull that connector through, have a play around to see if we can get contact with this magnetic switch anywhere, which we can't. So now we're going to replace this magnetic switch, and hopefully that solves the problem, because with the old Masterbuilts, you could obviously bypass the switches, but with this one, you cannot. Oh, there we go, we've got ash door open now, because it actually is. So we know that one's working properly. I don't think the actual main chamber door activates until you've got the thing running. But this is just for anyone that's got any top hopper connection issues. You can sort of follow this video through, and hopefully we can solve it with just a replacement of this magnetic switch. And the idea of magnetic switches is obviously they shouldn't fail, but this one has after first burn, which isn't bad because we sold about 50 of these units in, I think, about 6 weeks. And this is the only one where I've got an issue with one of the magnetic switches. So I'll get that switch replaced, and we'll see if that clears the issue. So picking back up, this is the new switch that I had to take off for one of my other XTs. So again, it's a bit fiddly getting it to this point due to how it's connected up through the casing. We're going to reconnect the wire into these hooks under here using those tools that I just showed you. But it looks like now, hopper door open, closed. That's with ultimate contact on there. Now it shouldn't need complete contact. There we go. Sorry, I was just trying to demonstrate how far away it can be. There you go. So the idea of these switches, because they're magnetic, it doesn't need to be complete contact with the contact on the back of the lid. So I'm going to reconfigure this lid, and I think looking at that, we've solved this issue. But I hope not many of you have got to replace these switches, because like I say, they are not easy to get to. Once I get this rear piece configured, I'll pick it back up, and then I'll show you how we got into the side to get to the wires as well. Okay, success. So just to summarise, it was that switch. So let me see if I can find a way of getting an angle where you can see. So they won't need absolute contact, these magnetic switches. So you can see from there, that's registered that the door's closed. So if you get a top hopper door open, it's likely to be that top contact. It won't be the absolute top contact, because this is just a static magnet. This is the one with the power going to it. You're going to have fun and games pulling this through. I'll show you what we did to get to that. So if you undo the 2 screws on the side of the mesh, it gives you just enough to pull the mesh back. Hold on. And you can see just there, that's a little clip that the wire is ran through. what we found is if you get one of these little hooking tools, something like this, put it down there, and then give that wire a gentle pull, there is just about enough slack down here for you to pull it up through to then feed it out of that little hole there to replace the connector. But it is not easy, a bit fiddly. So I'm hoping we don't get too many of those. It seems to be, the XT is much better built and much more reliable. I think they're quality checking these before they leave the factory. Just on this occasion, we were unlucky. We had a contact go down, but yeah, we're happy with that now. That's all working, and we're registering that that it's closed. We're going to run a fire through it now just to check that the heat doesn't knock the contact out again. But that's yeah, replacing the top magnet on the hopper on the Masterbuilt XT.